Hi everyone, Mighty Mommy here, and I'm ready to share some quick and dirty parenting tips with you that will help make your life as a parent a little bit easier and a lot more fun. I'm your host, Cheryl Butler. As the hectic yet exciting holiday season begins to wind down, the week right before New Year's is an excellent time to not only set resolutions for the new year ahead, but also to reflect on this past year of parenting and reminisce about the wonderful times you spent with your kids. It's also a good time to take stock of your parenting skills to determine which were strong and which ones you might want to improve upon. This week, Mighty Mommy shares 10 parenting skills that can really make a positive impact on your kids' lives. Now, before you watch that ball drop in Times Square this New Year's Eve, look back to see which of these parenting skills are areas that might need some tweaking or which ones have left you feeling great about your role as a parent. Parenting skill number 1, know where your child is. Many parents work outside the home and have no choice but to entrust their kids to a babysitter, a daycare center, or an older sibling, or may let their tweens stay home alone until they get home from work. Communicate with your kids or their caregivers regularly so you always know where the kids are, who they're with, who's in charge, and when they'll be home. This is critical, especially for young teens. Parenting skill number 2, demonstrate parental displays of affection. Parental displays of affection create a secure environment where your child is reminded daily that they're loved, that they're important, and they are your priority. Make some time in the morning to give them a hug and send them off to school with loving wishes for a great day. One mom rule I made for myself years ago, when my kids started to get a little bit older and leaving the house for school, play dates, or even to visit a grandparent, was for me to always say, "I love you," as they headed out the door, no matter what. Even now, with my high school and college-age kids, I always sign off on my texts, emails, or phone calls with those words. And the same goes for when they return home and I haven't seen them in a while. I try to always greet them with eye contact and a warm smile and ask how their day was. These gestures show our kids that we're not too busy with our own lives to make time for them. Parenting skill number 3, listen to your child. As parents, we want to be in control, which is why we often do most of the talking, right? We have rules we want to enforce, information we want to learn, instructions we want to give, household chores we want to assign, and dozens of other things we want to communicate with our kids anytime we manage to capture their attention. What we can sometimes forget, however, is that they have important things on their minds that they'd like to tell us too. And if we keep yakking in their ear whenever we have a moment, we'll miss what they have to say. Parents are so busy telling our children what to do, many times, honestly, we fail to listen to their concerns. Listen, and you'll learn what your children's hopes, concerns, and anxieties are. The better you understand your child's needs, the better a parent you can be. Parenting skill number 4, insist on respect. If your kids are taught how to respect themselves and others, they'll learn good coping skills for dealing with anger and frustration in appropriate ways that are not verbally or physically abusive to others. For example, when adults or other children come to our house for a visit, we expect our kids to smile and say hello. If they don't, I always give a gentle reminder such as, "Hey Austin, you remember Mrs. Ryan, don't you?" The more kids can learn about respect from their own parents in their own home, the easier it will be for them to practice it in the outside world. Parenting skill number 5, don't sweat the small stuff. One of my favorite rules of parenting is don't sweat the small stuff. Having an immaculate home, unstained clothing, a car that isn't laden with crumbs and empty juice box cartons, and a kid who wants to wear unsightly combinations of stripes and plaids means absolutely nothing at the end of your parenting day. When you become a parent, your priorities change. Those inconsequential day-to-day mishaps are a part of life. Let it go. Spilled milk, muddy floors, broken furniture. These incidentals must be factored into the parenting equation, and then let it go as soon as possible. If you stop getting worked up about these minor, unimportant things, if and when a real crisis does hit, you'll be much better equipped to deal with it. Parenting skill number 6, be extremely consistent. Make sure your child knows if you promise consequences for good or bad behavior that you're going to deliver on them every time. Consistent parenting makes kids feel secure because there are no surprises by you, the parent, when a decision or a promise is made. If you're not consistent all of the time, you're teaching your kids that your word means nothing. Just don't say it if you're not going to do it. And on the other hand, if you say it, be prepared to do it. Parenting skill number 7, keep your cool. If you lose your cool in front of your kids on a regular basis, you're teaching them that angry behavior is acceptable. Anytime you lose control and yell or argue with someone, you're showing your children that this is how people react when times get tough. Instead of losing your temper, show grown-up behavior by keeping your cool and resolving the problem at hand in a calm manner. If you do lose your cool, though, be sure to apologize and take responsibility for your anger. That's another way to model healthy behavior. Parenting skill number 8, keep the lines of communication open. Effective communication is a critical parenting skill. Prepare your child for independence and adulthood by asking her often how she feels about the things going on in her world, including school, boyfriends, extracurricular activities, and anything else that your child is interested in. Talk often and keep open discussions going about drugs, drinking, money, sex, personal safety, current events, and whatever else might be of a concern. Really work at finding out where your child is on all these topics. Just be careful about it turning into a discussion from that into a lecture. For example, start the discussion with a question such as, what would you do if someone at school offered you alcohol? Then listen to your child's answer and try to put yourself in his shoes. Nonverbal communication is also an important parenting skill. It's particularly useful when you want to eradicate undesirable behavior, particularly whining and complaining. In this case, the best way to do it is consistently ignore the undesirable behavior and copiously reward good behavior. Parenting skill number 9, get back to basics. With today's families keeping a rushed and often overwhelming pace just to maintain day-to-day life, many people are starting to realize that modern life comes at too high a price. The solution? Getting back to basics. I've seen many parents in my community, myself included, step back and make more healthful choices that reflect increased physical activity with their kids, eating better, and some have even taken up practices like yoga and meditation so they can stay more focused, have more energy, and simply live in the moment rather than continually worry about what's coming next. By modeling this approach for our kids, we teach them to make similar choices for themselves as well. And parenting skill number 10, examine your own life. Finally, take a good hard look at your own life. You need to be the person you hope your child will become. It just doesn't work to expect them to be one way if you are modeling another way. For example, if you want an honest child, you must be honest with everyone. If you let your kids see you telling a little white lie, it sends the message that it's okay for them to lie to you. Wrap up your own year by honestly assessing your own personal inventory and make sure you're leading by example in the new year. How do you reflect on your parenting skills throughout the year? I'd love to have you share your thoughts in the comment section at quickanddirtytips.com/mighty-mommy, or you can post your ideas on the Mighty Mommy Facebook page. You can also connect with me on Twitter at Mighty Mommy or email me at mommy@quickanddirtytips.com, and visit my family-friendly boards at pinterest.com/mightymommyqdt. Parents aren't perfect, but if we routinely take some time to reflect on what's working and what could use a little improvement, it turns into a win-win for the entire family. Wishing you all a healthy, happy, and loving new year with your families. Until next time, happy parenting.